I'm sure some of you guys saw the Josh Sullivan video, I think yesterday. And I just kind of want to kind of impromptu just kind of douse the fire and just kind of help the whole community just move on so we don't have, I guess, beef like this, coming over and over again. So this isn't really scripted or anything, but it's kind of just off the cuff. I've worked with Josh and Possible History a few times both. I made a Napoleon becoming the US president video with Josh, and I've worked with Possible History a few times. I made a Catholic 30 Years War video. I made a couple of videos about Germany. I've appeared in 2 of his live streams. So I know both of them decently well, and honestly I think both of them are, just good guys, and probably had some communication issues, and I've never had any issues with them. So I guess I'm kind of just playing the part of Pius XV in World War I as just a neutral arbiter, and just kind of asking everybody and their fans to just calm down and stop arguing. So I guess I'm just kind of gonna go over Josh's points that he made in his video. I really don't think not getting credit is that huge of a deal. I'll also say myself, I've made some pretty ridiculous looking maps, so I definitely could have ended up in his live stream. I think every guy who makes an alternate history map is gonna look a little weird. My strangest one was Poland somehow winning World War II, and that map was a little peculiar. But also, if you think about it, maps in history don't really always make logical sense. If you looked at the demographics of Germans in Europe in 1900 versus, what Germany is now, it's kind of a strange looking border. I guess on the junk history part, that, Josh was calling Possible History, I don't really think that's super fair. He said he had some of his scenarios written by his viewers. I've done that. I've had, viewers help me with stuff. I'm pretty sure Josh has done that on his Discord. So I don't really think that's that big of a deal. I don't think it's really fair to say that using a disclaimer implies some are, supposed to be serious and some aren't, when I think the one he said in his video literally said Halloween special. And obviously I don't think Possible History is oh no, zombies, that's realistic. But and also the everything is perfect and everything terrible is an interesting series, that, I think it does pretty good views for him. So, and they're cool to watch, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Also, serious, alternate histories, they don't really exist. I hate to burst people's bubble, but it's just, obviously there's some difference between saying, zombies, but, it's, none of it is, realistic. We're all, we make, we're not, history channels, but also, I think Possible History, he makes, history videos, too. He's made something on empires at each stage of history, which is pretty interesting. And I think they've all got over 100,000 views, or they're all, around there above. And, you're saying he's not educating people, but I don't know how many people are gonna, learn about Samaria or Babylon or Assyria or something when he did. I think he did his ancient empires, and those were in there. So I think he's definitely educating some people. Some of the stuff with the screenshots, I think those are a little, I would be mad too. I think, celebrating someone else's channel doing bad is very, disrespectful and rude, kind of unbecoming and unstately. And I think this is probably the worst thing, I saw, but I still think, that could have been handled privately. As, the other one, it's really hard to say what that screenshot actually shows because there's no context. But just me looking at it, I kind of understood that he's more just saying I don't need to worry super much on the topic because I know that I have a big community who are going to watch it. And I think it's good because he has a wide variety of content on his channel and they all seem to do pretty good. And I think that's a good thing because you get more people into history. And even if he did just care about views, I don't really understand how that would be a bad thing because the whole point of YouTube is, at least for me, is to, kind of build a community, get people to watch, have some fun, and then, maybe make a little bit of money. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Also, none of us are really super educational. I mean, but Possible History does make some real history videos. So, you know, even if you think his, you know, content is junk food because it's not, you know, like, no disrespect, it's not like the most beautiful maps in the world, and I'm sure he would tell you that too, and his editing isn't, you know, anything to like Kings in General's level. But like, you know, it's obviously engaging people. But if it's still encouraging people to go further and delve into a topic and learn more, I think that's a good thing. As far as the like political aspect, I would be annoyed too, personally, if someone said that my growth was only because of someone else. So like, understand where Josh is coming from that. But then again, I think that Tigerstar, he makes a lot of maps. I don't watch a lot of his videos. I've seen them before. They're pretty good. I also seen like Alibi and a lot of the like mapping stuff, but I guess that's more of a different community. Anyways, kind of sidetracked. And then Alternate History Hub, sorry, Cody. I think they've only made like 2 or 3 appearances on his channel, and I mean, those are like big channels, so I don't get how somehow them appearing on his channel is like a bad thing. They're not like, you know, just pumping up his channel and, you know, making community posts and stuff all the time. And I mean, whether you like him or not, Possible History's worked like really hard to, you know, get, you know, as big as he has. Like, I think I saw one of his on like his second channel where he was saying that, you know, he's, you know, been working really hard and trying to get his schedule up to date, and because he's been making, I think, 2 or 3 videos a week for, I want to say it's been like 8 or 9 months. I don't know, but like that's, you know, that's impressive. It shows he's working hard. And also, like, you said you'd be offended, or you were offended, but because he said Mr. Z is like helping you, and then you made the same argument about Possible History, which is a little bit, I don't really understand that, to be honest. Also, and like, why does it matter if, you know, those 3 people have the same political opinions? Like, none of us, I don't think, are making like dedicated politics channels or anything like that. Not that there'd be anything wrong with that, but like, you know, I don't think any of us are like overtly political or anything. And, you know, Cody, no disrespect to him, I'm a big fan. He's not like the neutral arbiter, and I don't know if people view him as that. He's a guy with a large channel, or actually he's 2. What's the other? Pointless Hub. That one's really cool. I love the Transformers videos. If any of you guys have seen those, are pretty funny. I'm not super familiar with Freda. I do find it ironic though. I've seen a couple of his videos, but I don't really, you know, I'm not a subscriber. No disrespect. You know, I hope one day I'm big enough for Freda to, you know, make a video critiquing my history stuff, but I'll get there one day. But I do think it's kind of funny, just looking at the screenshot, how he calls like alternate history dangerous, and then made a alternate history video. But that doesn't really matter. I mean, who cares if people are like left leaning or right leaning? But I don't think, you know, they're pushing an agenda, and you can't really say that Possible History's only doing it for like fame or profit. He only showed his face like, I don't know, a week ago, and you don't know what his personal goals are, so I don't think that's really fair, and it's kind of like a baseless attack. So I mean, yeah. And then I guess there are some like legitimate, I think, issues that he brought up. Like the political aspect of the community definitely does exist behind the scenes, whether people know it or not or want to admit it. And I've only been making videos for like 8 months-ish, but I think it stems to some argument between Tigerstar and Mr. Z or something. I don't know exactly what it was about, but like I remember reading like on Reddit, like, oh, Mr. Z was like somehow like he's a literal Nazi and everyone hates him now because he's supposedly being like a fascist. And like I've talked to Mr. Z a couple times. He's been very cool to me. He's been very respectful. You know, he's a typical, I think, populist American conservative. So he's not some like alt-right troll that a lot of you guys like make him out to be. I don't know exactly why that started. He's not a fascist. Like when you put a label on someone, like you're calling him a fascist, you're basically just like reducing that person to like a caricature that like embodies the term that you gave them. and then you just have this idea of somebody, and I don't really think that's, I guess a good way to just go through life. But that's, not super important. I can promise you he's not like a Nazi. If you want to believe me, that's up to you. And you can say, oh, you're shilling for him. But like, I have no reason to. He's just been, very, upfront, respectful to me. So I got nothing bad to say about him. People can make fun of him for being, more political, and, he just needs to stick with history or whatnot. And, even if we don't, agree on all his views, at least he's, what he's doing, he thinks he's trying to make like a positive, outcome for his country. And, even if we don't agree, we can still say, you know what, I think it's still a good thing that he's, trying to be, a positive force. I don't see him, being super negative or anything like that. I'm sure there's some instance or something, but like, I think, it's not something that we need to be super mad about. Also, like, YouTube has 120 million users, and there's no point, like, tearing each other down, because we're already a pretty niche community. There isn't like a massive target audience for anyone. So I think we should be helping each other out and collaborating and whatnot. And other channels means like more growth for everyone, as it'll just bring more people into the community. And, like a rising tide lifts all boats. Though Possible History is Dutch, so he probably doesn't want to get the water too high. But sorry, that was a bad joke. I guess another big concern is the mythical, realistic alternate history. It just doesn't exist. If you look at history, it doesn't really make any sense. There's no rhyme or reason for anything. If you would have told like a Roman in 300 AD that in 200 years Rome would become a relatively unimportant town ruled by a barbarian and the Christian bishop, you would have been laughed at. If you were told the English king in the 1760s that the American colonies would revolt and win in a few years, he would have called you crazy. So, there isn't really any logic, I don't think, that comes to history, and people get mad all the time over like a fake made-up scenario that a person came up with because it doesn't follow their own head canon. But like, guys, none of it's real. You can just, go outside, take a nice walk, breathe some fresh air, go to a church or a synagogue or a mosque or whatnot if you're religious. It's not that deep. Like, you really shouldn't be getting mad over it. I just like to, give you a quote from one of my favorite historians, Thomas Hodgkin. The sharp lines of demarcation, which we often draw between period and period, and which are useful as helps to memory, have not for the most part had any real existence in history. For in the world of men, as in the development of the material universe, it is true that uniformity rather than cataclysm is the rule. Natura non vedit per saltum. Still, there are some great landmarks, such as the foundation of Constantinople, Alaric's capture of Rome, the Hegira of Muhammad, the discovery of America, the Reformation, and the French Revolution, which have no merely artificial existence. We can see that the thoughts of the great majority of civilized men were suddenly forced into a different channel by such events, that after they'd occurred, men hoped for other benefits and feared other dangers than they would have looked before these events took place. You can see that for the most part, history it just kind of keeps moving, but sometimes there are going to be things that just radically change things. And I guess I would say that most of the time in alternate histories, somehow like that scenario that we're doing in that video is always something that like radically changes things. Also calling people's work junk food, I think is a little bit of a weird attack, because first of all, McDonald's isn't the best food in the world, but it's worth $200 billion because it's popular. And the irony in all of this is that none of the dedicated alternate history channels have even made the best alternate history videos, or the quasi most realistic. None of us are the Michelin star steakhouse compared to the McDonald's. I'm not a steakhouse. Josh isn't. Mr. Z isn't. Possible History isn't. Cody isn't. That's everyone is kind of just popping in my brain right now, but I'm sure there's other people I'm forgetting, and sorry about that. The actual steakhouse would be Invicta, who had the really amazing 1 hour series on if Caesar wasn't assassinated. And then Wizards and Warriors, who's I think a sister channel or something to Kings and Generals, had this really cool series on if the Mongols invaded Western Europe. So if you guys are looking for something that's I guess more grounded in reality, I think I'll put those in the description. But those two series were actually big inspiration for me to even start my channel. as I hadn't seen someone have all like the map work and the people and the, you know, little pop-up animations and everything. And I've tried to, you know, replicate it, and had some moderate success. And I think the first alternate history video I ever watched was Cody's like Atlantis video, like, I don't know what that was, 8 or 9 years ago, that helped me get into history. I used to love watching him and What If Alt Hist and Mr. Z, because those were the, you know, 3 big guys, and that kind of helped, you know, grow my interest in history. We all, like YouTubers and viewers, should know that tribalism isn't really a good thing. So let's not, you know, bash someone for trying to, you know, either defend themselves or, you know, just make a joke. And we don't need to try to, like, you know, oh, destroy someone's channel. It's just the end of blah, blah, blah. Like, guys, it's, you know, it doesn't matter that much. I think, you know, we can, you know, as community, we can all just apologize to each other. I think, they can apologize privately. If you like Josh, you're cool. If you like Possible History, you're cool. If you like Alternate History Hub, you're cool. If you like Mr. Z, you're cool. Like, you know, I would hope to see that Josh and Possible History can at some point, like, you know, privately talk it out, and hopefully they can collaborate in something and we can all just move on and this isn't a big deal. You know, if you're left, right, authoritarian, libertarian, establishment, anti-establishment, if you're a monarchist, a communist, a fascist, you know, you like democracy or a republic, or you're a Marxist or socialist or an aristocrat, whatever you are, like, you're welcome to the community. It's cool. You know, it's the more people, the better. We should actually try to, like, talk with each other. We don't need to, you know, put borders up, and I don't really understand why we're all so mad at each other. We shouldn't really just cut people off for having another opinion. You know, we want to have a free flow of ideas. That's how you know, see other perspectives. You get to see new information and develop as a person. So if you're very right wing or very left wing, you should try to, you know, talk to the other side and see where they're coming from. And that's how you learn. We don't really need to tear each other down. So I think we should just, you know, work together to build each other up. We all have a common interest. So let's make something that unites our community and not be a reason to, you know, build up more walls and animosity. So whether we want to admit it or not, we are all in the same community. So I think we should start acting like that. I don't know how long this is, but, you know, I hope you understand where I'm coming from, and I hope we could all just lay down our weapons or whatever and let's just chill. Anyways, bye.